Hey Elise, hi team, it's Taylor or Copywriter Tay. Thanks so much for asking me to do this. I'm really excited to contribute in any way that I can for this course because it's thebomb.com. If I'm looking down, I'm just looking down at notes and stuff, so I'm just gonna get into it. Okay, so the first question that you asked is, what's your business background? So I'm a freelance copywriter, and I've been a freelance copywriter for almost now going on 9 years. I started off as a full-time copywriter with a startup company, and while I was there, I started freelancing almost immediately. So I worked there for 4 years, and I freelanced the whole time as just a side hustle. And then after that job ended, I decided that I really wanted to try freelancing full-time on my own, no other jobs. So I've been doing that now for, closing in, I guess, on 5 years now. What's my current business all about? So I write personality-driven copy that's conversational and aimed at speaking to your ideal client. It helps your business sound more human. I primarily work with clients who are reaching out to a female audience, but I'm open to working with all kinds of clients that need to sound more human, so hit me up. I should also say that my current business right now, I have 3 clients, 2 on retainer, 1 that I'm working on a small project with, and all of them are from Instagram. Where were you at with your Instagram strategy before enrolling in Instagrowth Boss in early January? I didn't have an Instagram strategy. I was just a personal Instagram user. I have my own account. I don't really post that often. Sometimes I'll post a story here or there, but I don't think I've posted a photo in probably close to 6 months. It's always been a thing where I just go on and I waste time. It was never that serious. But I started to realize late last year of 2018 that I needed to kind of up my game in terms of my marketing strategy for my business. And I thought Instagram was probably a good idea. Just getting more into social media would be a really great way for me to network with other people and find my clients. And because I knew of the Instagrowth Boss program, I just thought, I'm going to take a chance and see what happens. So when I started the account for Copywriter Tay, I started with nothing. No followers, nada. What compelled me to join the program? I mean, pretty much just that. I needed a new way to market myself, and I didn't feel like my personal website was doing enough for me in that arena. I really wanted to just get out there, put my name out there, start maybe even using Copywriter Tay, this Instagram account, as a way to, like, a portfolio piece, so I could show other potential clients the things that I could do for their business. Maybe just social media captions, or if they liked me and my voice, they could inquire about other projects that maybe we'd want to work on together. Which top 3 strategies did I commit to for my business's Instagram account that I saw work the best? There were a number, but if I had to just put it down to 3, I would say engagement, hashtags, and picking a theme for my grid. So I found that I thought when I first started, like, I knew right away that I wanted to have a theme. I started to build one, and if you go back to sort of the first week of posts, you can see that there was concept, but it didn't really have like a color story. It was a little bit tough to figure out where I should go next with each photo. And so there was a point, I think about 4 or 5 posts in, where I thought, okay, let's sit down, let's mark out who it is that we're trying to attract, and then from there, try and come up with a theme for this account that's going to speak to those people. So that's exactly what I did. I also started to get really savvy with hashtags because I learned quite quickly, and I learned this in the program as well, that using large hashtags really is a huge disservice to businesses that don't have any followers, or to businesses that do have followers but are still smaller accounts. So when you're starting off and you don't have anybody following you, there's no point in using hashtags that have 7 million followers on them, or 7 million posts rather attached to them. So I really started getting savvy with finding hashtags that were relevant to my ideal client, finding hashtags that were relevant to my business, and making sure that I had a good mix of larger hashtags in with those more niche, smaller hashtag. So that was a big deal too. And then I also realized that engagement is massive. So it isn't just enough to go and engage on people's posts by liking them. I knew that I had to get in there and I had to write something that was meaningful or worthy of kind of a conversation on their caption. And I also needed to start getting into people's DMs, which was a little bit scary at first, but once you do it a couple of times, it stops being a big deal, and you shouldn't go in there with your sales pitch right off the bat. That was something that was really important to me. I wanted to make sure that anybody who was following this account looked at me like I was more of a friend rather than somebody just spewing like content tips at you or freelance tips at you or what have you. So when I am in people's DMs, I like to take my time, get to know them, ask them how they are, where they live, who they are, what they're all about. And then if the conversation sort of naturally flows in the direction of a client, cool. And if it doesn't, that's also great, because now that's just a new connection that I have on the website. So how did I cultivate deep relationships on Instagram and book clients into my copywriting business? Like I said before, I cultivated deep relationships with people simply by talking to them. I just got into their direct messages and would reach out to people who I thought either seemed like an ideal client for me or somebody that I just, really responded to their stories or their content. That could be fellow copywriters, that could be other social media Instagrammers, or like gurus, just anybody and everybody who caught my eye, client or just potential friend. That's how I really kind of went about it, and just kept it real, man. Like, just got into their DMs and started conversations. And I think the other thing that I realized early on too that was going to help me develop a relationship with my audience beyond DMs was getting into my stories. I don't have an account that really shows off me a lot. I don't use a lot of photos of myself. There's a couple introduction posts in there, but most are like stock photos or reposts from other accounts that I think would be relevant and stuff like that. So not a lot of photos of my face, so I thought I should probably start doing stories and just talk directly to people there so that they can get to know me and get to know my personality. And once I started doing that, I also saw a huge uptick in just the number of people that were watching, also the number of people who started following me, and the amount of DMs that I started getting. Because once you're in stories and you're asking questions and you're talking to people, they want to respond. So that was a big deal. How did I book clients into my business? I really didn't start off pitching anybody. I had people coming to me. And I think that was happening because my account very clearly shows who I am, the kind of writing style that I offer, the sort of clients that I'm looking for. I had, been very calculated in all the things that I was doing on the account so that anybody who visited and was somebody that was looking for a copywriter, they would know right away whether or not I was going to be somebody that they wanted to work with. So I had a lot of people that were reaching out to me, and I started booking people through experiences like that, where someone would reach out, they'd ask about rates, I'd send them to my website, and then we would start the conversation that way. So it was very just natural and easy, and I didn't really have to do a lot of work to go out and really seek these people. They were finding me. So which of my Instagram efforts helped get leads and clients the most? How fast did you get your first lead or client, and how did it all go? So the first lead came within a month of me starting the account. I've spoken about, what I think helped me get those clients, so I'm not going to really get into that because I know that I've probably done that to death. But my first lead came within a month of being on the app, which was crazy. I couldn't believe that happened so quickly. And when my first lead came, my second lead and third lead came around the same time. So I had about 3 leads that came within like a month's time. Those clients didn't end up actually becoming clients. They were just potential clients. But it was so encouraging because the minute I saw that, I thought, okay, cool. I'm doing something right here. If later on in the conversation, it's like the rates are too high or what have you, that's fine. The fact that people are finding me and they're responding and they want to find out more about what I do or how we could potentially work together, that was enough. Like just getting the lead was cool and I was super excited about that. But then my first actual client came within 2 months. And that happened because I had a friend who noticed that I had started the account, and he had a friend who was looking for somebody who was a copywriter that could do social media captions and just social media campaigning and work for them. So he went out and checked the account because my friend had told him to give it a look and see what he thought, and he loved it. And he contacted me and he told me exactly what he was looking for, and basically just said, based off of the account alone, he was ready to start working together pretty immediately because he felt like what I was doing on my account was very similar to the sort of work that they were looking for their clients. So that came like super quick, and it really wasn't difficult to nail that client down like at all. So that was that story. So the date, so I started the account late January, and by March 1st, my first client and I had signed a contract. So that was pretty wild. Since then, I've nailed down another client who I'm starting work with literally like tomorrow. And I have another client that I've been working on just like a small sort of project with. So all in all, within the course of 3 months, or rather 2 months, I guess, 2 or 3 months, I'm bringing in about $10,000 worth of business. And I started this account January 29th, 0 followers. And it is currently April 28th. And I have over 1,100. So that, to me, really just speaks to how incredible this program is. I mean, I'm somebody who I had knowledge of Instagram. Obviously, I'm in digital marketing, and it helps that I'm a copywriter because I know how to write for this kind of stuff. And so those things are, of course, helpful. But in terms of strategy, in terms of understanding like how this all works and how I could use this platform to build up my client list, I could not have done it without this program. This program changed my business. I'm working with clients that I really like. I'm doing work that I'm really excited about. I'm making tons of money in a way that I just never really have before because I always felt like I was sort of struggling for those big fish clients. So it's really been one of the best things ever for me. And in terms of like advice that I could give to other copywriters, I mean, it's such an incredible place for you to showcase what you do. If you're somebody who is a writer, you want to get that writing in front of other people, and you want to be able to attract them from or through that writing. Not everybody's going to find your website. You know what I mean? Not everybody's going to take their time to go through your portfolio on your website. But if your portfolio is, in a sense, your Instagram account, like, it's a no-brainer. So my advice to copywriters is, if you're trying to look for clients and you're having a tough time, or even if you have a lot of clients but you maybe want to up your game a little bit, or take new people on, or just feel like you have a steady flow of clients coming through the door, and big paying ones at that, then I would definitely say to get on Instagram, because it's pretty life-changing. It's definitely been that way for me. So that's it. That's my story. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Elise and team, for inviting me to do this. If there's anything else that you need, let me know. Bye.